Hello and welcome to my match preview for Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield on Sunday, the 27th of August at 4 p.m. It already feels like, if not a must-win game, definitely a must-not-lose game after last weekend's defeat away at Stoke City. But then again, it always feels like that with Arsenal at the moment. It feels like every defeat is a crisis, and particularly during the transfer window when things are a little bit in flux, and they're probably a little bit more in flux for Arsenal than they should be at the moment. But nevertheless, let's try and concentrate on this game. Um, it's difficult not to worry, particularly about Liverpool's attack. Liverpool's attack has looked very, very potent this season. It's one of, I think, the most well balanced attacks in the Premier League. And their biggest strength has been one of Arsenal's biggest weaknesses this season, and that's really kind of pressing up high against those centre halves and those deep lying midfielders, and forcing turnovers and really dominating on transitions. Arsenal have given up some pretty sloppy goals this year, not even under a great deal of pressure, particularly Granit Xhaka actually, which has been quite disappointing, giving the ball away with kind of sloppy passes under not a lot of pressure, and it's very difficult not to worry about how that might play at Anfield. Um, and it's difficult not to think that Liverpool won't target Granit Xhaka, and how Arsenal deal with this is going to be key in how we get on Sunday. It's not a tactic we've dealt with particularly well over the last couple of years at Anfield. I suspect that Arsene is going to try to be a bit brave and try and perhaps push his back three up a little bit and try and get them playing in Liverpool's half. Because if we can just get over that first press, we should outnumber them in midfield. Liverpool play midfield three. Arsenal, if they stick with the back three and have the wing backs, will have four in there. So they should be able to outnumber Liverpool in that area of the pitch. And I think we've seen this season, if you can get Liverpool running back towards their own goal, they're not particularly impressive defensively, and really Arsenal need to try and concentrate on just getting past that first wave of pressure, because if we can get the ball towards the centre circle, they could have some fun up front, particularly with Alexis Sanchez coming back. And I think his absence has been underplayed a little, probably because we've actually not attacked too badly in the first two games of this season. But for me, Alexis is, if not the one of, certainly the best attackers in the Premier League. And it was interesting to hear Jurgen Klopp's comments about him in his pre-match press conference, where he spoke about the difficulty of trying to maintain Alexis because he doesn't play a fixed position. And I think Klopp said something like, he wanders into every area of the field, and in every area of the field, he's dominant. And he just gives us that little bit of unpredictability, and that will be really significant, particularly if we can break that first line of pressure, get that defence moved up, get them playing those balls into the centre circle with those line breaking passes, which you would imagine would be Shkodran Mustafi's stock in trade, but obviously it remains to be seen whether he's going to be playing or not, and that could be a significant loss, I think, for us if he's not. Nevertheless, I have an inkling that Arsene might start with Olivier Giroud up front. It's what he did last season at Anfield. He kind of tried to play Welbeck and Giroud as a front two, and I think we had 7 or 8 long passes from Cech to Giroud in the first half alone. And he tried to do something similar at White Hart Lane in April as well. And the very obvious aim was to try and go over the top of Liverpool's pressure with long balls, and I don't think it works on either occasion. So I hope he doesn't really try that again. I think really the best way to get around a press is to be brave and break it with one quick one-touch football, knock your way through the first line of pressure, and then you've got lots of space to go into. Whether Arsenal have the central midfielders to be able to do that remains to be seen. And Arsenal have lost a lot of very similar types of technical midfielder over the past couple of years. The likes of Arteta, Rosicky, obviously Cazorla, Wilshere, Diaby have all had fitness problems, and these kind of players are crucial for kind of playing that quick one-touch football that gets you out of trouble. But if Arsenal can do that and just get over the halfway line, then I think they've got a lot of potential to score some goals against that Liverpool backline. But I have to say, I am quite worried that they won't get that far, particularly if Mustafi doesn't play. Because if Mustafi doesn't play and it's either Monreal or Mertesacker in that central role, then obviously the recovery pace is not quite the same. Obviously, Koscielny being back helps with that a little bit. But it's going to be a fascinating game, and I don't really differ from what most people think. I think this is going to be the odd goal in 5 or 7 might win this. It's going to be a bit of a knife fight, and I hope that Arsenal's knife is sharp enough to come out on top. Nevertheless, also late goals happen very, very regularly in this fixture at Anfield. So, the game, if it's tight towards the end, don't leave your seat because, yeah, particularly because of the frenetic pace of these games, they tend to be settled quite late on, and I think this one might be the same. Nevertheless, unfortunately, I think we might lose this one. I think we might lose it 3-1 or 3-2, something like that. I don't think tactically we're in a very good position at the moment, with lots of players playing out of position. I hope the starting lineup is a bit more balanced than it has been of late, but it's very difficult to read what's happening at the moment. So we'll see. But I do unfortunately think that we might succumb to Liverpool at Anfield, but let's hope I'm wrong. I just wanted to end by thanking everyone for their feedback on these videos so far. I'm having to record them on my laptop, and as you can probably pick up, both the microphone and the camera aren't the greatest. But on September the 1st, I'm getting a new phone, so hopefully that should push the production values up after this particular video. So thank you so much for sticking with it this far, and I'll be back before the game against Bournemouth. Cheers.